All right, so we are live, and so there's no confusion. This is the new home for the Batter's Box, Monday Morning Quarterback, All Out Blitz, all the sports shows. They're
So
back where they
so
started.
so basically, we're going back original, and that's
Original,
it.
original,
May, may,
exactly.
may I ask why you got rid of just your average sports?
Just Your Average Sports was a dead channel. There was no growth. In fact, I lost a sub, but that was my own fault. I wasn't going on. I mean, I can't blame anybody but myself. I
When
just
nothing's going on
There
though.
was there was stories I could have broke, dude. I could have talked about the Mets more. They went on hot streaks, and well, not just their injuries, but they're winning. Um, yeah, well, we could have talked about the Julio Jones trade.
You could have.
Rogers is supposedly holding out. There were a lot of sports news that we could have just made shit up. Not made shit up like tell lies, but I'm saying, but we could have made or I could have done it on my. Again, it's no one. There's no one to blame but myself. But anyway, it didn't matter because what it did was, and I said this when I first did it. I said it when I first broke the channel into two. I said it could either help or hurt. It didn't hurt in the long run. It didn't hurt. It just didn't help because I took a channel that I was trying to grow. I had 140 subscribers, and then I broke it and made 20 subscribers there, mostly from this channel, but there was no growth on both channels. So I'm like, all right, look, I'm not going to focus on two channels when I can barely focus on one. So that was my thought process behind that. And it's, dude, talking about sports is fine on here.
Right.
I was trying to make it. That was my
You were trying. You were trying to not have confusion between your entertainment and your sports stuff.
I didn't want to make it cluttered. I didn't want to make it cluttered.
You try to separate it where, hey, if you want sports,
yeah,
go to Just Your Average Sports. If you want to watch stuff about, Falcon and the American whatever,
Falcon and Winter Soldier, or just movies in general. Yeah,
right, just movies in general or entertainment. You wanted to keep it on there. That happens, but now I just realized something. I lost a sub because you're no longer.
I thought about. Well, so did I.
I was like, I have 24 now. I'm down to 23, and I just looked out like, oh wait, Joe just.
I also lost a sub. I had 141 back down to 140. But look, again,
I think people are just watching videos just for the sake of watching videos, and when you ask them to subscribe, I don't think people just don't want to subscribe anymore because I don't get a lot of views, but my last video did 7, which is more than what some other videos did this week that I did.
Yeah.
But still, I'm done trying to get the subscribers.
I'm done trying to figure out the YouTube algorithm. I'm done. I am. Some videos get 7, some videos get 50. And I did a quick Cobra Kai teaser. I say quick, it was like fucking 20 minutes, even that. But I did a Cobra Kai season 4 teaser with Kitty a little over a week ago. The last teaser we did, the last just video we did on a trailer did over 200 views. And that was because Cobra Kai is very popular. This one only did 51.
And it also depends what you put up there.
Yeah.
And me and James talked about that the other day, and I'm sorry we're talking about our YouTube channels, guys, before we get into the Mets stuff, but it's like I told James the other day. I looked, like I talked to him on the phone. I said, you know what? I'm making an executive decision. When we do our Saturday show from now on, I am not talking about Monday Night Raw because Monday Night Raw sucks now.
Yeah.
It's not worth me talking about. I don't want to watch it. And also, why would I talk about something that happened on Monday night on a Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon at 12 o'clock?
Yeah. Well, that's the dilemma I face. That's the dilemma I face with this new show, Loki. Now, Disney Plus changed the days that they drop the shows. So no longer they drop on Friday. Now they're going to be dropping on Wednesday. So with Kitty, because I have a co-host and we both have to have, schedules that aren't conflicting. So because of that, I still have to do them on Sunday. So I have no choice. I have to wait till Sunday to do a review for a show that happened on Wednesday. I don't want to do that. So I get it. I get it.
Right. And that's what I told James too. I said, I'm at a disadvantage where, my wife's job has her work at home 2 days a week.
Yeah.
So she's home on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I can't do a Monday Night Raw review on a Tuesday morning with James because she's in the same room with me doing her job. That ain't right. And on a Thursday, I can't do an AEW Dynamite review on a Thursday. So I'm just like, you know what? Forget it. I'm not going to do Monday Night Raw. I'm going to cut it down unless her job tells her to go back full time. Then I'll worry about doing shows on Tuesday and Thursday. It's just, it's craziness. And like I said, I don't understand the analytics half the time, or the algorithms, or what the hell's going on.
It's fine. It's fine. Look, and again, I tried something. I did it for almost a year, actually. Right? When did I start? Just Your Average Sports around a year ago, almost.
About a year?
Well, a little over a year. A little less than a year. No, definitely a year. Way less than a year, because we started the football Monday morning quarterback. Monday morning quarterback originated here. I think I started late 2020. The Just Your Average Sports. Yeah,
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I think November. November is when I started Just Your Average Sports, because it was like halfway into the football season. Yeah, because right. I still have a few of the old Monday morning quarterback shows on here, and then I had the newer ones on the old channel. But anyway, look, again, it was a 6-minute interlude, but at the same time, all I was trying to tell you guys is, so there's no confusion, Just Your Average Sports and Just Your Average Show are once again consolidated to one channel. So if you want your sports stuff, you get it right here, and that's it. So basically tonight, Mike,
Just Your Average Sports. Rest
in peace. So,
thank you.
What I wanted to talk about tonight, really quick, obviously the big story in the Mets is deGrom. A lot of news came back today, so we're going to get into that. And then, of course, the league cracking down. And we talked about this briefly a few months ago.
Yep.
When I asked you guys what you felt about, the substance use by pitchers. Some of them have been they're known to be using them. Trevor Bauer was one that was named. Garrett Cole was actually named. There's a lot of major league pitchers that do it, and they've admitted it too.
I find it funny when they broke this story a few weeks ago, or was it 2 weeks ago? Buster Olney was talking with Greeny.
Yeah.
On his ESPN Plus show. And the YouTube thumbnail on the ESPN YouTube channel, the thumbnail was Jacob deGrom. And I'm like, there's no way. No way, Jake.
No, it's
doctors of baseball.
Yeah, no, it's not.
I mean, I don't know why they put his photo up there.
No, he's and everybody on the Mets team actually came to bat with him yesterday and said, because somebody had mentioned him, and they're like, no. They're like, I'm telling you right now, both catchers said it, McCann and Nino, and the other pitchers have said. I mean, look, again, I know they're his teammates, but when other pitchers are coming out and basically saying, yeah, I use it, it was never really, it was a rule, but it was never enforced. That was the issue. That's what a lot of pitchers, including Bauer, Glass now, who's now injured, and he's blaming MLB for the change in his injury. Other baseball players are coming out and saying, but so you want to change this now, like 2 months into the league, like, you know what I mean? So they're
into the season.
Yeah, into the season. That's what I meant. I'm sorry. 2 months into the season. So Trevor Bauer basically came out recently and said, I'm all for a level playing field. I get it. If that's what MLB wants, then that's fine. He said, but it was just the way they went about and done it. To just do it like stone cold. That's like telling an alcoholic or a drug addict to stop cold turkey. He was saying that things should have been put in play before the season started, because you guys knew about it. But
isn't saying that actually admitting you're doing something illegal?
Yeah, he said, look, we admit it. So here's the thing. I'm torn between the two things. I kind of wanted to talk about the Mets first, but we'll go opposite. It doesn't matter. So I'm torn with this. I do believe that if pitchers are going to have a competitive edge, it's not fair to the hitters. I do believe that. But there's got to be maybe there's got to be guidelines, or maybe there's got to be, obviously the rosin bag is fair use because it's on the mat, it's on every mound. So that's good for there's moisture that gets on the pitcher's hand. You don't want the hand too wet, or you don't want the hand too dry. You need to have a firm grip. what's going to happen, and a lot of pitchers are saying this, and I can understand, is later into the season when the weather gets cold again, and it's harder and harder to grip the ball. The pitchers are at a disadvantage, but it also gets dangerous now for the batters. It gets dangerous for the batters because if the pitchers don't have control of what they're throwing, and you got these guys, especially deGrom,
you're going to get a Kevin Pillar incident.
Exactly. You got these guys, and I know deGrom isn't one of them because he basically came out and said, and his teammates have backed him out saying that he does not use spider tack or any other substance. But if you got these guys that do throw hard, that's scary shit. You got to worry about the control now. But I'm not against MLB coming down on these pitchers. I'm not.
Right.
And another interesting thing that one of the White Sox pitchers said, Carlos Rodon, he basically said, look, I think it's ridiculous that MLB is handing out 10-game suspensions with pay, by the way. It's with pay. But 10-game suspensions if these pitchers are being caught from now on with these substances, but you guys did nothing and you knew about it to the Houston Astros for fucking cheating in a World Series game or World Series.
Exactly.
No game suspend, no suspensions were handed out to anybody. And now you want to suspend us for something that's been in the league for years, decades. So I don't know. I don't know.
It's not like you're doing the Eddie Harris approach on the Cleveland Indians, where you're putting Brill cream wiping your hair with Brill cream,
right?
Or
yeah,
putting chili pepper up your nose and putting snot in the ball and all that shit.
Right, but they are doing stuff. It's clear as day. I mean, there are batters that say that they can actually hear the ball come out of the pitcher's hand because it sounds like Velcro. And it's making the ball do things that no batter's ever seen. Now, again, at the same time, batters have to adjust. I get it, but I don't know. What is your take on it? Like, where do you stand on it? Again, I'm not saying that I think pitchers should be able to do what they want. Of course not.
All right. Well, hitters aren't supposed to be using steroids either, but nobody's slapping.
Well, that was the other thing too.
But nobody's slapping a fucking asterisk on Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire.
What was it, Bauer? I don't know if it was Bauer, but another point that was brought up, or no, actually, no, it was an analyst. Basically said what the league did with this is exactly what they did with the steroids. They turned a blind eye on it for decades, didn't do anything about it. It got out of control, and then they had to come down and do whatever they did, and that caused whatever that caused. Now you have the same situation with illegal substance use and whatever the pitchers have been doing for years and years and years, which would have become common. Dude, it became common practice. These things were handed down from generation to generation, from old pitcher to new pitcher, and the league turned a blind eye on it, and now got out of control. Now they want to do things about it. But the other thing is too, dude, they keep fucking around with the balls. They deaden the ball because they're trying to keep the ball in play. Now they're trying to make the ball a little bit more livelier, so it's jumping off the bats because fans are complaining that there's not enough offense. They're trying to do all these things to create more of a product on the field.
But here's the thing. Why can't they just leave things alone and just let it be natural? And
just leave the ball. I agree. Leave the ball alone.
I mean, 35 years ago, they didn't have this problem in 86. I mean, if the ball went out, the ball went out. The ball didn't, the ball didn't.
86, 87, you probably got you got players that you like Mark McGwire and whatever. They were juicing back then. Maybe not back then. No, I take that back. I don't know.
Look, if they're gonna do this, right?
I don't think. Hold on, though. Let's really quick. What were the Bash brothers, McGwire and Canseco? Do you think they were doing it as far back as then, or was it more when McGwire was on the Cardinals?
I think it was more when McGwire was on the Cardinals.
All right.
I know Canseco wrote his book and he said yes, him and McGwire were.
I think it was late 80s. I think like mid to late 80s.
88 and 89, but when I think he did it more when he was in St. Louis.
Okay. Well, also too, and not to veer off the subject too much, players did that when they got older. They started taking HGH, human growth hormone and stuff like that. Not just it wasn't always about HGH wasn't always about adding more power and adding more more power to your bat is basically what I'm trying to say. But it was more about, I'm getting older. It's harder for me to recover either from an injury or just
also then you're using the Eddie Harris theory that he said in Major League, where he was looking, like when Rick Vaughn looked at him and he said, "What's that shit on your chest?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Crisco,
yeah,
Brill Cream,
yeah.
this, that, pine tar on the glove, this."
Well, because
the
he was
chili
getting
pepper on the
older, and I
nose.
guess he
And
needed a
then he
competitive
said,
edge.
he says, "I don't have an arm like yours
Yeah.
anymore."
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at you're looking at Charlie Sheen when he was probably still in his, late 20s. And there's Eddie Harris, who's like 40, 43, 44 maybe. And he's at the end of his career, and he needs, that little bit of edge. But still, you shouldn't be taking an edge. Like the Barry Bonds situation, like I said 1,000 times before, and I said it on other shows that we talked about. Barry Bonds should get an asterisk or his record stricken from the home runs that he hit after he became, I don't say after he became a San Francisco Giant. Basically, like my father said, when his head turned into the size of a watermelon, that's when you guys start going, okay, how many home runs did he start hitting prior to the head turning into a watermelon?
You can tell the difference between when Bonds was juiced and when Bonds was. I mean, you just go back to I agree with you. I agree with you. It wasn't his full stint on the Giants, but you go back to his Pirate years, the guy was a scrawny motherfucker. He was big, but he was nowhere near as big as
he was big, but he was lanky. Now
in 2000, what was it? 2001? 2000? When was it? 2001, 2002?
I think 2001 or 2002. You're right.
Actually, no, it might have been later on, dude. It might have been even later than that. It might have been later than that. No, it wasn't 2009, 10.
Let me see something.
Because Bonds, McGuire had the record in 98. He hit what, 72, right?
70. He hit 70.
70.
And then Bonds hit 73, I believe.
So, was it 2001? Was it as early as 3 years later? No, I feel like it was mid 2000s or late 2000s.
No. All right, so he was with the Pirates from 86 to 92.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was with the Giants from 93 to 07.
So what was it? 05, 06? When did he break the record? 07?
Hold on.
Or was it 01?
Hold on. I'm skipping down to
or 02.
The Giants 01. He was a home run leader in 93 and 01.
Okay, so 01 was when he had he
had the 73.
Okay. Because I thought it was 01 or possibly 02, because 02 is when they went to the World Series. They played the Angels in 02. But it was 01. Okay. All right. Just making sure. I originally said that, but then I thought about it. I was like, well, maybe it was a little later than that. But yeah, I mean, you can tell, dude. You can tell the years. You can tell pretty much when another player starts to do it. Look, it happens, and again, I get the reasoning behind a competitive edge when a player gets older. I understand it. Dude, it's not much different from an actor or an actress who are basically they're not all hired by their looks, but let's be honest, some of them want to preserve their looks.
Most of them are.
So what do? You think these women are or these men are natural? No. You don't think Jennifer Aniston or Jennifer Lopez or people that are getting up there in age aren't preserving their bodies in basically in a shortcut kind of way? Now, I'm not saying that there aren't people that just fucking work out and just eat right and take care of their bodies. Right. I'm not saying that. I know there are people that do that, but then there are people that they do, maybe a little implant here, a little injection there. It's
like I tell James when we do our show, and sometimes I'll say it. It's like Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon has a thing for his female wrestlers. He likes them blonde hair and big tits.
Yeah.
So what do? They go in for the breast surgery.
Of course.
Then they see the other girl got bigger breasts during her surgery, so she got to go in now for another surgery and get bigger breasts done. Then you have like somebody who had brown hair or black hair 1 week, they come out with blonde hair, and then when these out, I'm like,
dude, look, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure because you as you get older. I mean, I'm in my 40s. You're in your 40s. You understand it as you get older, especially
I'm in my late 40s now.
Especially if you're an athlete, or if you're an actress or an actor, dude, because you know that the younger people are the new, that's the new group. So you're trying to maintain any type of edge you can, especially as an athlete, more so as an athlete, because your body can't do what it used to do when you were 20, or mid 20s or even early 30s. So what do? You try to do something to maintain an edge. But that's not what pitchers are doing. That's not what this substance abuse in that regard is doing, because any age pitchers are doing it. They're not doing it because they physically can't. They're doing it because they're trying to do anything to increase the spin rate or increase velocity or gain a little bit more control. And look, I'm not saying that pitchers shouldn't be able to use something to have better grip.
But I mean, but what's the limit now?
There has to be a limit, and there has to be some type of a control. So I don't know if barring all use is the answer, or monitoring it.
I think you just answered it, and it shouldn't be monitoring. There shouldn't be monitors watching. You shouldn't be fucking cheating.
Well, that's why I wanted to have this discussion. I wanted to say again. I'm not against it.
Don't fucking cheat. Don't get caught.
Right.
And you wouldn't have this fucking problem now where MLB up your ass going.
Dude, I'm not against it. I'm not against.
No. I know you're not, but I'm saying though, to all the pitchers out there who are complaining, don't fucking complain. If you're gonna get caught, don't complain. I mean that's classic. That's the classic bullshit.
There were pitchers that were blatantly putting that shit on the fucking arm. Like you had white pitchers putting like that, they had a dark substance on their arm. Like no one was going to see that. No one was going to see.
I mean, then what's the point in them coming? I mean, but then I blame the umpires, because if you're seeing the pitcher and you can blatantly see that he's a white guy with this big black stain in the middle of his arm.
Right. I said white guy. It could have been just somebody with a paler complexion.
No, but I'm just saying though. Trevor Bauer, who's pasty white.
Yeah.
Okay. Or Jacob deGrom. I would put Jake in this.
Why not? Go ahead.
In this conversation, because he's pasty.
Dude, Syndergaard. You can even put Syndergaard there.
Put any pitcher. Storr comes out. He comes out, and you see. Let me just move the mic for 1 second. If you're seeing the arm, right, and you see a black thing right around here, on a white dude, you're gonna see that there's something there, and the fucking umps don't fucking see this.
Well, it's up to two things. It's up to either the opposing coach to bring the attention to the umpire, because there have been opposing coaches that basically warned the umpires pregame and said, listen, this guy's known for going after heads, or this guy's known for using shit that he's not supposed to be using. I'm just giving you a heads up. So it's not only up to the opposing coach, but if the umpire sees it.
I mean, how many times in 1980, was it 87 or it was 87, right? Or 88, that Whitey Herzog wanted to check Howard Johnson's bat for cork.
Yeah.
That was like 87 or 88.
Yep.
And it was done on more than one occasion to him by Whitey Herzog.
And like you said, we were talking about that. If batters aren't allowed to do that, then pitchers shouldn't be allowed to do that.
So if batters aren't allowed to use cork in the bat,
right,
or they're not going to be able to take steroids because
that's just of course.
They should just do random drug testing.
Yeah,
on any given day.
They do.
So if the batters aren't allowed to use anything extra in the bat, then the pitchers shouldn't be putting shit on their fingers to be throwing a baseball.
I agree. Well, now the other thing is too. Now they can't do. They're cracking down so hard. They're not even supposedly are even allowed to wear sunscreen. Not even sunscreen, no foreign substance at all. So even sunscreen, because pitchers what they used to do is like, all right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to oil up. I'm going to either put baby oil, something really slick on or even sunscreen. You put a little sunscreen.
A little Coppertone, nice, SPF 50,
Exactly.
If you come to Arizona and play the D-backs and the roof is open.
Now you're going to have a lot of burnt arms in the league.
I'm not even going there. I'd be like a day like today. I know the roof at Chase Field is going to be close. It's 116 right now.
I heard the West is going through one of the hottest periods ever.
Dude, I mean, I joke. Monday is supposed to go down to like 100. It's been like 100, 115 and above like the last 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
Monday is supposed to be like 110, and I joke with my wife and I say, "Oh, Canadian cold front's coming in. Break out the sweater. It's gonna be 110."
Oh, dude, put the heat on. Put the heat on. All right, so let's get into another debate really quick because I've been watching multiple shit. I watched Moose and Maggie today. I watched a little of Craig and Evan. The Carton and Roberts, I should say. I'm sorry, the Carton and Roberts show, the new show on SNY, which is actually pretty damn good.
They gave him a TV show now.
Yeah, they have a TV show, and dude, their ratings are up. They're actually beating Michael K on ESPN. That's how good their ratings are doing. Very well. I
actually watched Bruce and Maggie yesterday for a little while on a YouTube clip because they were talking.
That's what I did. Yeah, I watched the YouTube clip. So I watched YouTube clip on their thoughts about deGrom. I watched the pregame of the Mets, which they had the round table. I listened to Louis Rojas talk a little bit about the situation. So basically, the MRI came back negative.
I didn't realize Louis Rojas is Felipe Alou's son. I didn't know that.
Yeah, James Mooney's the one that told me about that. I didn't know either.
I heard it during when I was watching one of the highlight games.
James told me a little while ago. I don't know if you were on the show. Probably not, because you would have remembered that. But
yeah,
he had said, and I didn't know. I had no. Well, because they had two different last names. So he goes, "Oh, you know who's his dad is Felipe Alou." I was like, "What?" I had no idea.
So him and Moises Alou are brothers.
Yeah. So, basically what happened was MRI came back clean. Two different specialists said he has a normal looking pitching arm. There's no signs of anything.
I don't think it's the arm.
It's going to be day to day, but what do you think if you're the manager or if you're the Mets front office, what is your solution with the deGrom situation right now? What would you do?
What, my honest opinion?
Yeah, I want your honest opinion.
Tell him to stop hitting.
Well, you can't. Oh, you mean to just take the pitches?
I think, dude, I don't think it's his arm.
Well,
I honestly think it does. No, because here's why.
You're not the first one to say this. This is something that was.
Hear me out first.
Go ahead.
Hear me out first. The last start he had was up against the Padres, I believe, right?
Yes. Before this, yes.
Okay. Now they took him out after the 6th inning.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Bottom of the 50 came up and he had that base hit that knocked in the run.
Okay.
After the 6th inning, though, you saw him grimace in the dugout.
Right.
Last night,
he had the hit.
He had the hit. He came out in the 3rd inning, struck out whatever he did, but he also, and I believe it was Keith Hernandez who called this out. He says something's wrong. He said Jacob's taking too long to get set to pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened? Right after he got the base hit in the bottom of the 2nd, he's out in the 3rd. And he had a perfect game going too.
I know. Dude.
I honestly believe it ain't his arm. I think he pulled something in his rib. Either he pulled something, a stomach muscle or a rib or something.
Well, the initial injury was a lat, which he said, and even Louis Rojas said it was from swinging a bat. It was a lat. He had lat tightness. Then it went from lat tightness to side tightness. He was sidelined. He was on the IL. Then it was.
I'm sorry. It's DL to me. I don't care what IL is.
Then it was tendonitis in the elbow, in the flexor. Now it's his shoulder. But everything's coming, and somebody else made a comment saying they should just MRI his whole fucking body. See what head to toe. See what's wrong.
I still think it's the hitting. I think he's swinging too hard. I think he's pulling a muscle and that's fucking him up on the mound.
Well, two things were brought up,
and I blame Major League Baseball because they should have
the universal DH.
Yep.
Yeah, no, and that was what was brought up.
Say hi to Sonny.
Hey, Sonny. I don't know why I'm waving. Sonny, look.
Hi, baby boy. My little kitty cat now I have.
Sonny.
Sonny, that was on Just Your Average Joe.
So That was brought up. The fact that there was no hitting last year.
Sunny on my shoulder makes me happy. Good boy. Good boy.
So the fact that there was no hitting, there was no hitting last year for pitchers. The DH was in play, so no pitchers hit all of last year. Right.
Right.
Now you have a full season. You're back to hitting. He is hit, dude, and he is hitting. It's not like a normal pitcher where it's whatever. He's got more runs batted in.
He's got more runs batted in than he has runs given up.
Yeah, exactly. He is a complete athlete, and I know he loves to hit, dude. He loves to hit. Him and Syndergaard can crack a bat too. The problem is we don't know what this injury is, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was an injury due to swinging the bat. But here's the other stat that I found amazing, and I got it from Moose and Maggie. I think it was Moose and Maggie. Maybe not. Either way, it doesn't matter.
All right, if it's Moose and Maggie, we'll give credit to Moose and Maggie. Moose and Maggie. Go ahead.
Here's the stat. In the 11 starts he had, I believe it was 11, might be 10, but I'm pretty sure it was 11 starts. In the 11 starts he had, he has thrown 138 pitches of 100 miles an hour or more. 138.
Maybe. All right.
The nearest, you want to know the nearest number? The nearest number from another pitcher? 20-something. 138 pitches of 100 miles an hour or more. I'm sorry. And I've been saying this.
Joe, I'm sorry. Sonny hit the mute button on the laptop, so I didn't even hear what you were just saying.
I'm basically saying, so out of 138 pitches of 100 miles an hour or more, meanwhile, the next pitcher to have that stat is at 20-something. I think, and I've been saying this, I said this a couple of times on the stream.
Maybe he should slow it down a little bit.
I think he's overthrowing.
That could be too. I mean, he could be overthrowing and then swinging the bat. It's a double thing. And
he says he's very in tone with his body, very in tune with his body. He's always analyzing his ligaments. He's always analyzing his schematics. He says, and another person has said this, he's not throwing with max effort. Even at 100 or 101 or 102 miles an hour, he's not overthrowing. He's not damaging anything by doing it because he changed his delivery. Somebody else compared it to like a what do you call it? A Steven Strasburg from the Nationals. Strasburg threw hard, but he was also using too much when he threw, using max effort. They're saying deGrom is not doing that, but I still say, and I've said it a couple of times on here, and I was talking to James about it. I think you were on one of the streams too when I said, when he throws, I feel like he's just throwing too many fastballs.
Maybe it's time to slow down the velocity and start throwing some hooks.
But the problem is, though, too, if you tell a pitcher to change their either their delivery or just change their repertoire or change anything, it could actually fuck them up that way too.
Well, no, I'm not saying change up the repertoire and totally. Let him keep throwing the fastball, but he has the fastball clocking in at 99, 100, 101.
Yeah.
His slider clocks at 91, 92.
Yeah. He's throwing hard.
Now at 91, 92, that's a fastball for some pitchers.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's a slider.
Yeah.
What if he threw a 91 or 90 mile an hour curveball? Instead of throwing fastball, break it down. Throw a hook, put the slider in there, throw the four-seamer, then, for the strikeout. You don't have to throw 3 straight 100 mile an hour fastballs to strike somebody out.
Somebody was saying that the reason they thought that he had the tendonitis or that soreness or tendonitis in the elbow was the fact that in that last start, he was throwing more breaking pitches. So that's the other thing too. So if the guy's going to get tendonitis or discomfort in the elbow from throwing fucking change ups or sliders or any breaking pitches, then what's the solution? Then what are you going to do? Only throw in the gas and heat? The other thing is too, dude, he said that he had that issue into the game or even before the game. He just pitched through it because he didn't think it was a what do you call it? That much of an issue. And the guy still threw 3 innings, no hits, and 8 strikeouts.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I love the fact though. Now whenever he's there, this chant of MVP just sounds so good.
I'm gonna tell you though, dude. Sometimes when the analysts are talking or anybody's talking about it, dude, and
Here's it.
they're constantly bringing up the
Here's the
fact that
thing,
he's
though.
the best pitcher in baseball.
But here's
He's
the thing. Here's the thing when it comes to MVP with a pitcher. The Cy Young Award is the MVP for a pitcher.
Yeah.
Not MVP for like most valuable player in the league.
In deGrom's case, I would give it to him.
I would give it to him as an MVP.
Yeah, he is the MVP because he's not only pitching, but he also is knocking in the fucking runs to help himself win. And in a lineup that wasn't giving him the run support he needed sometimes.
Let me ask you a question. And I heard about and I heard this a few weeks ago on MLB's YouTube channel. They were talking about the Mets.
Okay.
With what Luis Rojas is dealing with right now, and he's still short men. Conforto's not there yet.
McNeil
is still out because
they both got that hamstring issue.
Because Lindor now is playing second base now instead of short. That's how I figured that one out. That something's wrong with
Guillaume. I thought Guillaume's, but Lindor's still at short. It's been Guillaume.
No, Lindor's been playing second the last few games I've watched.
Are you sure?
As far as I watched on the highlights.
I didn't know that. I thought Lindor was still at shortstop. In fact, there was a play just the other game I was watching
Go on, mommy.
where VR was playing third, and because VR went for the ball instead of covering third, when Lindor dove for it, he had an easy out at third, but because VR went for it, he had no throw at home. So I'm pretty sure Lindor's been playing short, and Guillorme and Peraza was...
I don't know. I watched a couple of games where he was on second base side.
It's possible. There might have been it might have been, it also might have been a shift. They might have been shifting on somebody that pulls, and he's at the second base. Either way.
Well, here's my question anyway.
Yeah.
They're 5 games in first place.
Yeah.
They're 10 games above 500.
Yes.
Can we put Luis Rojas in the conversation for manager of the year now this year? Considering that we were knocking him like a month and a half ago.
Yes and no. Actually, I don't even want to say yes and no. I say no at this point. No. And I understand what you're saying. He's had to deal with a lot.
He doesn't have his full team on there.
He doesn't have his full team.
No,
dude, I'm telling you, he doesn't have his full team. I'm in agreement with you. I think that what the Mets are doing, being 10 games over 500. I mean, they were losing 2-0 last I checked. So I don't know because I was watching the game before it came on, but. At this point, they are 10 games over 500. They're beating good teams. You know, the Cubs are one of them. They played pretty well against the Braves.
They played great against San Diego. I mean, San Diego was supposed to be the ones to take on the Dodgers.
Yeah, I think San Diego.
They look good against Arizona. They look good up against the Cubs. They're playing great.
Well, in fairness,
baseball.
Arizona just lost like 22 in a row. So a lot of people have been looking good against the Diamondbacks. But no, you're right, and that's what I get what you're saying, and trust me, I wanna like Luis Rojas, I do, but I also fault him for some of the losses that we've had because of his mismanagement. I really do.
Right, but I know like sometimes we question his decision when it came to base running and taking out a pitcher, or
leaving a pitcher in too long.
Like even Peterson's start before this one when they left him in when they had nobody warming up.
Yeah,
I mean, granted, Peterson pitched a great fucking game the other night.
Yeah,
I mean, that would probably be the best.
It was the start before. It was the start even before that, because the start before this last one, he didn't even make it out of the first inning. That's how bad he was.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm saying though, he's playing with a depleted team.
He is. I'm not.
And they're doing stuff. If the way we're looking at the standings now, this is what it should be with Conforto, McNeil, a healthy pitching staff, and everybody playing.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is just. I mean, I know. Like we don't get votes in for picking manager of the year and shit. But if I was, let's say I was allowed to, I would actually right now give Luis Rojas my vote for NL manager of the year because of this.
And again, and you have a valid argument for that. I personally wouldn't, but that's only because I've seen some of the miscues and the mishaps and the.
I understand that, but I'm saying with what the way. I'm not looking at as all right, a couple of miscues, couple of mishaps, but I'm looking as okay, you should be losing right now.
We should.
And you're playing fucking phenomenal baseball.
I also credit the team. I credit the guys that stepped up, the ones that were called up from the minors, the bench mob that they were called. I mean, these
Who's
guys.
that guy playing right field now for Conforto?
McKinney.
He is something. You see that base running he did last night to get that first run?
Yeah. I'm telling you, look, and everybody's stepping up the way they're supposed to.
Exactly.
Jonathan Villar has given us a lot more than we thought we were going to get. Kevin Pillar, also
nice little blast.
Conforto's
Dom Smith converting from a first baseman to a left fielder was. I never played.
Catch.
For a guy that never played left field a day in his life,
he made a great catch the other night.
He made a great catch too. I saw it.
He's got
the home run last night. And Pilar hit a homer.
Yeah.
So I'm saying clicking right now. I mean, they're clicking on all cylinders. And what's going to happen when Conforto and McNeil do come back?
Well, that's what I was telling James. I was like, if they can just hang on. This was a while back. This was when we were just talking about the injuries. If they can hang on and play the way they are now, and then all of a sudden everybody comes back, and we're at full strength. That's a scary fucking thought.
That's really scary. Now, Mike, I got two more questions.
But really quick though, before you ask those questions, the flip side of that is though, does it ruin the chemistry that they have right now?
That's the thing, because you don't know now
with the guys on the field.
And McNeil being out so long.
Yeah.
Are they going to be rusty when they come back? Because let's be
honest, Conforto started to come around a little bit, but we weren't really praising Conforto before that injury. McNeil's always been McNeil. McNeil's going to get on base, and Nimmo was an on-base machine before he got hurt too. So those are the guys we want back as well. I'm not saying we're better without them, but
right.
And Lindor too. I got to give Lindor a little credit too. He's starting to warm up a tad. I'm still not.
You know what though? When they were on the road that week, the West Coast trip.
Yeah.
He was hitting really good.
Yeah.
And this and thank you for segueing into my question.
Go ahead.
Because this was going to be my question. Is Lindor a little leery of the New York market? Like I said, going from Cleveland to New York, is he a little starstruck a little bit, knowing that that now he's supposed to be the franchise for the next 11 years? And these fans, and you know us fans in New York, we'll turn on you on a fucking dime.
They started booing and it didn't affect him because he started warming up a little bit. Now we're at full capacity now. Now you're gonna have full capacity and you're gonna have a full crowd. I think he's gonna be more.
You know what I like though about him though, and there's one thing I'm gonna give him credit for.
Yeah.
We had the when they played Arizona, their last game was a day game. It was on YouTube.
Yeah, I remember. I watched that. Yeah, that was a weird broadcast, but I watched that.
Lindor was mic'd up.
Yeah.
I got to give him credit, though. He went over, he scored a run, and then he went over to Kevin Pillar, and he told him something about the pitcher and what the pitcher's doing.
Mm-hmm.
To say, hey, watch out for this, watch out for that.
Yeah.
Like he's not being like, okay, I'm worth X amount of millions of dollars. I'm going to be a snob and whatever.
No.
He's actually being a good teammate because he's telling Pillar, hey, watch this, watch that.
Well, that's what they said when they signed him. They wanted that presence in the clubhouse because they wanted him to be exactly what you're saying. And it's exactly the type of person he is. I didn't expect anything other than that from him. I didn't. I know money changes somebody and whatever. And, granted, some athletes could be like, well, I'm above you because I'm the star or I'm the face of the franchise. But he doesn't I don't think he wants that. I think he just wants to play. And,
it's like when you look at somebody like Aaron Rodgers, when he's saying, I'm not going to be a fucking babysitter for Jordan Love.
Yeah.
And he's making good money. When you look at somebody like Lindor, who's making that good money now.
Yeah.
He's over there and he's actually telling Kevin Pillar what to look out for from.
Yeah, but that's a different story because Kevin Pillar is not his replacement. Jordan Love that's a different story.
I understand that. I mean, but like you said, money can change you and become somebody you're not.
If you were working for a company for 20 years or whatever, and they were kind of like shitty to you, whatever, and then they want you to fucking train, they want you to train your replacement.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on. So a different situation. But I don't know what's to come, but at the same time, look, when you're 10 games over, you have a somewhat of a comfortable lead in a tough division, because we know Atlanta's good. And Washington's starting to warm up a little bit too.
Atlanta's playing really shitty though this year.
Yeah, I know. And that's the other thing that's keeping us afloat as well. But we are also beating the teams we have to, and we're beating the teams that are a welcome surprise, like San Diego, So I think as long as they just keep it up, as a Mets fan, I worry. And what I was trying to say before earlier is every time an analyst or anybody that's talking about the Mets and they talk about deGrom, and they're like, oh, we got the best pitcher in the planet here or whatever, I cringe because I'm like, just shut the fuck up and let the man pitch. He's great. He's the best. But every time you say that, you're fucking jinxing him. And I'm worried that
that's what you think. That's what you think?
Yes. I'm tired of hearing it. Leave him alone. Just let him fucking pitch. Oh my God. Did you see that, Bobby? He just threw 102. The man cannot age. The man can't do no wrong. And then he gets pulled after 3 innings. Just shut up.
And then on top of that, you got like 40,000 people in Citi Field screaming MVP the whole game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're not wrong. And that's nothing new.
No, they're not wrong either. But I mean, that'll put pressure on somebody too. But not for him. I mean,
he lives for this. He wants it. He's too much of a competitor, and that's the other thing I worry about too. I get he knows his body, or whatever, but how much of this is just him wanting to be on the field because he wants to win the Cy Young or he wants to win a championship, but at the same time, at what cost? I worry that we are literally, as Mets fans, just waiting for the big injury.
And thank you for leading into segue number 2 to my second question.
Go.
Come trade deadline, should we look for another arm just in case with deGrom?
Well, I think you need to look for another arm, not because of deGrom, but because also, don't forget, not that we knew or not that we expected a completely healthy Syndergaard, but now we're not getting Syndergaard till at least September. If at all.
What I'm saying though is too, if deGrom keeps showing this, and they're gonna have to shorten his outings. I mean, should we look for that?
It's possible.
Should we look for another arm? Who and what are we willing to give up?
Well, that's the other thing too. What do we have to give up? It's not even what we're willing to. We don't really have. I don't think we have many play pieces in the farm system, to work with. I don't know.
That's the thing. I don't know where they're going to go with. I mean, like if they do say, well, we got to get another pitcher, what the hell are they going to do?
Dude, at this point, it may not just be pitcher, We want to hope that Conforto and McNeil and Nimmo are coming back, and even JD Davis, because they're all injured, but we don't know. And also don't forget too, Carlos Carrasco is another one.
I thought Nimmo was catching last night from McCann.
No, that's Nito. Nimmo. Nimmo is the center fielder.
Okay, we got too many people with same names going on over here.
You got Brandon Nimmo and Tomas Nito. Two different.
But it's Nimmo Nito is almost the same.
But you have to wonder what they're going to do at the trade deadline, if they're going to try to get another piece just to bolster up their bench, because a lot of their pieces that they did, a lot of the makeshift moves that they had to make, that were forced to make, were just simple calling up guys or making. I don't know if you know, but that Cameron Maben was let go, but when they traded for Cameron Maben, they literally traded for $1. It was originally reported cash considerations. They literally got Cameron Maben for $1.
No wonder why he ain't there anymore.
So I mean, the guy just couldn't hit, and he wasn't hitting before he came to the Mets either. But so a lot of the guys they got either came and did what they had to do, or they got hurt themselves. And then you have other people that were on our lineup, like Albert Almora Jr., who also fell prey to getting hit because he ran into a wall, trying to make a spectacular. And the dude caught it until he hit the wall, and then he dropped the ball. But he just ran flush into the wall. I mean, I was watching that game live. That was painful to watch. I was like, holy shit. But, the Mets did fall prey to some freakish injuries earlier in the year, and then, JD Davis got hit by a pitch and he was dealing with hand or wrist problems. And then all of a sudden, I think something happened with his neck or something. I don't know, dude. I have no idea. But yeah, it is something to question or something to speculate what they're going to do, or if they're going to be buyers come the free agent, not free agency, come the trade deadline.
Yeah.
They're certainly not going to be sellers. I mean, they would have to literally have to have like a collapse of like monumental proportions to be sellers within a month from now, come the trade deadline. I think they're going to, I don't know. I don't know how aggressive they're going to be. But and at the same time, like you said, and like I said, I don't even know not only what they're willing to give up, but what do they even have to give up? Exactly. I don't think they have any wiggle room. I don't. There was one piece that they were contemplating moving. I saw on the internet was their star, Ronnie Mauricio. And I think he's like their young prospect shortstop. But then they said, well, if you don't trade him, what you could do, in a sense, is bring him up and just train him to play third base, because you're basically third base right now is being platooned by, like I said, Jonathan Villar and whoever else, because JD Davis has been out. So again, I don't know who they plan on moving within their farm system or if any, but we'll see. Just hopefully they continue to win, but at the same time, more importantly, their key players, especially deGrom, stay healthy. That's the only thing you can ask for as a Mets fan right now, because they're doing their job. They're winning. They're ahead. They're in first place. But, how long that lasts.
How long that stays, now that's going to be the question.
Now, if we're in September, or even, because I was going to say October as well at the same time, but come September or even October, and it's guaranteed that we're in, or we are in, then maybe the conversation starts to come about Luis Rojas being manager of the year. Because the Mets had missed the playoffs since 2016. So 17, 18, 19, and that short and fucking dreadful season last year where they were given playoff appearances out like candy, they still missed. So 4 consecutive years. If they can make the playoffs on a team that was just riddled with injuries, and we don't know what's to come. I'm hoping this is the last of the injuries, but we don't know what's to come from now until then. Then maybe I can see the conversation starting to creep up about the Luis Rojas. But again, we're only in June.
Well, it's like you said, though, it's like it's almost 3 months. So like one third of your season's already done.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're almost halfway there.
And you're playing with injury-prone players. Well, not injury-prone. I mean, injured players that you normally would be playing every day for you.
Now, the true test now is this upcoming week or two. They're gonna have a few double headers, because so if deGrom is not pitching, because they have to make up for some rainouts, or I don't know if it's the rainouts they're making up, or I don't know if this is when the Nationals and the Mets, because they're playing the Nationals now after the Cubs. So I don't know if this is when the Mets and the Nationals start making up those COVID games. So the question is now, what do they do with the whole deGrom situation, because they're going to need, because of those double headers. So I guess I don't know if they're going to do that thing where Miguel Castro comes in and pitches a couple of innings. You have Lugo back. Seth Lugo's back from injury, so maybe they can use him as a spot starter. So they do have options there, but I don't know, or even Gazelman. But at the same time, this deGrom injury does come at a bad time as well. I mean, you don't want it to come at all, but the only silver lining right now at this moment is that it is a day-to-day. He's not going on the injured list, but at the same time, dude, I do worry that he's going to rush back like he did. I mean, again, look, the last 2 times he went out, he had the tightness. They sat him down for regular rest, tries to come back, gets pulled. Now you have this flexor tendonitis injury, normal rest, tries to come back, only lasts 3 innings. So then I don't think they're giving it, like, I don't know if it's because they just don't want to listen. They're just listening to him and they don't want to take charge. But I think as an organization, or even as a manager, you got to be like, look, Jake, I get it. I know you want to be on that mound. I know you want to be a competitor, but we need you. I had one guy, I forgot who it was. I read it. I think it was actually, I'm getting all my information mixed up. You know what? It doesn't really matter who said it.
Right.
But one sport writer said, I would, I don't know if I would do this. I would hold him until the All-Star break. Rest him until the All-Star break. We need him more for a playoff push than we do now. Now, I don't know if I would. I mean, the All-Star break is in like 3 weeks. I don't know if I would do that. But, a 10-day rest isn't bad.
Wow, they got a lot of doubleheaders coming up.
I know.
So Saturday is going to be the makeup to one of the COVID games.
Yeah, because they're playing the Nationals now. The series is the Nationals, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it's tomorrow. So Saturday is going to be the makeup for 4-1.
Okay.
Then they got the Braves where they're going to play a doubleheader.
Right. That was one of the rainouts.
A makeup game for May 28th.
Yeah.
Then with the Phillies, they got another doubleheader.
Because I believe, wasn't it 2 of the Phillies games were rained out? Or was it just 1? How many doubleheaders are they playing with Philly?
1.
Okay.
And that's going to be the 25th. They got a makeup game from April 15th to play.
Yeah, so you're talking about, like I said, 3. So you got 3 doubleheaders in just over a week. Or in a week. No, in a week's time. I'm sorry. In a week time.
Yeah, in a 1 week time. So
in a 1 week time.
So they're actually playing, and the Phillies are playing, they're all 4-game series. They're all 4-game series, but 2 of the one day is going to be doubleheaders. And if you get out to the stadium on Saturday and Sunday on the 26th and 27th, you're going to get a free You Gotta Believe t-shirt.
Yeah. Well, I can't go because I wasn't vaccinated yet, and I don't want to really take a test right now. Sorry. I just don't feel like I mean, I've already had a COVID test, but I mean, that was.
Are they at full capacity still, or are they at a certain level?
No, they're full.
Yeah, because
I think starting Friday. I think
the New York Racing Association said that Saratoga, when they open up Saratoga in July, they're going to have 100% capacity. So
I think this weekend starts. What do you call it? Full capacity.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that a banana?
It is a bunch of.
Are those bananas?
It looks like a.
Oh no! Okay, it's a marron quesadilla.
Yeah.
At first, I thought those were bananas. I'm like, what the?
I actually posted up on my Facebook page that I was telling you about the White Castle being opened up in Tempe.
Yeah.
Over here, and then Nick was the only one that liked it.
Yeah, I mean, he's also almost the only one that ever comes on here. But anyway, I think this is time to wrap it up. I do want to keep it under an hour, but again, no more. So there's no more confusion. All sports shows are going to be on here again as they used to be. So there's that. Mike, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Really quick, Mike, tell everybody where they can find you and your channel.
Mic'd Up Sports YouTube channel.
And what was your last one, which I do want to ask really quick, not too long because I do want to keep it under an hour. But what was the thought process behind the shrinking?
Somebody gave me some advice because
I gave you the same advice. I said that you keeping, and that's what I'm trying to do now.
Up the videos. So basically, the advice I was given by somebody was, if you do a top 5, it's going to run past 30 minutes, and people who watch YouTube videos have short attention spans.
Well, this is almost an hour.
Yeah, well, they'll probably watch about 3 minutes and get bored.
Well, I get it. No, I told you the YouTube channels, most YouTube channels, people have an attention span of anywhere between 8 and 10 minutes.
Yeah,
but doing shorter videos is not him not basically saying trim a top 5 to a top 3. Top 5 is a top 5. I knew
what would have happened because because the top 3 lasted 20 minutes.
Yeah.
If we would have did a top 5, it probably would have went to 35, 40 minutes.
I would say 30 minutes, but yeah, I told that to James. I said it's probably going to be about 30, 35 minutes, but I don't think that's so bad. You're doing a top 5, and if people are interested in 80s tag teams in the WWF days or whatever, but they're gonna want to know the whole
It
list.
wasn't just WWF. It was like, I mean, basically, me and James both had 2 NWA/WCW tag teams in our top 3.
How if you just did 80s?
Well, if you count the Legion of Doom, if you count the Midnight Express, if you count Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson, if you counted the Rock and Roll Express, and so like we were throwing in a lot of 80s stuff, but we were combining both WWE and WWF.
All right. Even still,
WWF and NWA.
Gotcha. All right. Even still, I would have loved to have watched a top 5. Same thing like what I want to do, and this is something that I'm thinking about, and I've talked to you about it, and I talked to James about it, and I wouldn't shrink it down because I would want to do a top 5. I want to do a top 5 Sopranos episodes, our top 5, our individual top 5, what we think are our top 5, and
right. But and then I told you the problem is with me is because I haven't watched it in so long, I don't remember any of the episodes I would even put in the top 5.
All right,
but I might be able to pull something off.
All right. Again, there's no rush with that, but we'll see what happens there. But anyway, okay. So we're now we're at 1 hour and 1 minute. But either way, Mike, thank you for coming on. Enjoy your upcoming weekend. We will come on soon, talk about some sports, maybe about some football news. If anything comes out, maybe we'll see.
If we feel we feel like it.
I need to be more active on here. I got tonight's stream. I'm doing a stream tomorrow. And that's another thing, guys, I want to plug really quick. So this is something that I've been wanting to do for a little over a month now. But I'm glad I waited a little longer because I got more knowledge on the service. But I'm going to do a quick personal review on the 2 streaming services that I am familiar with, because when I cut the cord with Verizon Fios a few years ago, I went with Hulu Live. And I had them on and off for a couple of years. And then this last April, right before baseball season, I signed on with Fubo TV. And I've been using them ever since. So
which one you like better?
That's what the review's about.
You'll tell me off camera because,
or I may just make you watch the stream.
Oh God damn it! No, you're
but guys, so here's the thing. I already created the broadcast for it to come on air tomorrow at 12 p.m.
So you recorded it?
No, I didn't record it. I stupidly created a broadcast, so it's already there, for me to come on live like we normally do. I don't really want to do it live. I wanted to create a broadcast and then record it and then post it.
So just cancel it and
no. I'm just gonna go on live. Fuck it. Whatever. It's quicker. It's easier. I'll go on live. That way, you guys, if you want to comment, you want to ask me live questions, go ahead and shoot. I'll try to answer them as best of my knowledge as I can. But so look out for that tomorrow, and then of course Sunday is
what time tomorrow?
12 p.m. Eastern.
That'll be 9 o'clock by me. I will see if I can make some time just to listen to you.
Yeah. So I'm going to be doing that, and then of course Sunday is my Loki show.
And then on my channel I got the horse racing show tomorrow down the stretch.
Right.
And then Saturday I will be flying solo for coming down the aisle because somebody went to Lake George for the fucking weekend.
Somebody's living it up.
I'm jealous because I used to be my old stopping ground back in the days when I used to go up to Saratoga.
I've never gone. My cousin and my
beautiful.
family, they go up every summer. Every summer, and they ask me, "Can you?" But I've always never been able to do it because of work. But now, and then last year, obviously, they didn't go.
Because you knew that because I used to go up to Saratoga with my old man every summer.
Yeah.
And then we always stayed we got sandwiched in between. We used to stay in Glens Falls.
Right.
So Glens Falls was like halfway to Saratoga, halfway to Lake George.
Got it.
And we were right in the middle. So perfect. I already told him to tell Johnny and Kelly that there's a nice Italian restaurant up there to go to.
All right, good. All right, dude. I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully you come on, and I'll try to, like I said, if you have any questions, I'll answer them. But I'm just gonna do a quick review on those 2 streaming services tomorrow at 12. And then, of course, as I said, guys, to avoid any confusion, all sports and entertainment will be on here from here on out. On this channel and this channel exclusively. So if you guys want that, continue to get that. Please subscribe. And of course, hit the smash that like button for this stream as well, and all that jazz. But Mike, thanks again for coming on. I appreciate it. I know this was a last minute stream, but gives us something to do.
Hey,
And,
I had nothing to do, so
all right, well, let's go Mets, and I'll talk to you soon, guys. Enjoy your weekend.
We'll go to the after party. Peace out.
Peace out. Take care, Nick.